How do you meet people? And then where do you go? What do you do on dates?
Online dating has skyrocketed since state lockdowns and stay-at-home orders were put into place. But some people had already turned to dating apps in search of love.
It was a couple years ago for me, just a easier way to meet people.
Facebook was these lovebirds' platform of choice, a new dating feature the social media giant rolled out back in September of 2019.
People would come up on your page, and then if you were interested, I think there was like a flirt button or something you could push, and then if it was mutual, you could start talking.
While many people turned to more popular dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, or Hinge, even experts say for some, Facebook can be a good way to go.
I have another woman who's a mature woman. She's an experienced dater, and she meets men, online, sometimes through Facebook. That's one of the ways that people are meeting.
Both Rick and Brittany chatted with a few people, but never found anyone they wanted to meet in person. That is, until Rick saw Brittany's profile.
Her eyes got my attention.
So he took a chance.
Said something like, "Hey cutie, what's going on?" And then it took her 3 days to respond.
After talking for a week, they decided to go out for dinner.
Our first day, I was nervous. I thought like maybe I'd be catfished or something. But we met at Hacienda, and we were there for a few hours. We had, we just ate and had some drinks and talked and whatnot.
$129 later. It was a good day.
Rick fell for Brittany right off the bat. But Brittany, on the other hand,
it took some time. I don't just fall in right away.
He was living in Michigan at the time, but was willing to make that drive to see Brittany again, which he didn't have to wait too long for.
It was the very next weekend.
They went bowling, not knowing that pretty soon, everything would change.
It was probably just before a month that we were talking and hanging out, that COVID hit and, restaurants closed, bars closed. We didn't get much like going out or doing anything, when COVID hit.
This has been a tough year, a tough time for everybody. And dating's been affected in various ways.
Putting Rick and Brittany in a pretty unique situation.
What happens in a situation like this is that they spend more time in each other's homes than they normally would do if they're dating. They aren't out and about at restaurants and other, parks, activities, and places like that.
Which is exactly how they decided to navigate dating during the pandemic.
We did a lot of picking up food and just hanging out at the house or something.
Both of them worked at essential businesses, yet still got together any chance they could.
Every other day after work, or a couple times throughout the week, and then on the weekends I stayed over.
Soon, Rick told Brittany he loved her. But once again, it took her a little longer before she was ready to say it back.
I think it was a good month and a half, 2 months-ish.
Eventually, they both said their I love yous, and Rick was left with a final task, winning over the most important person in Brittany's life, her daughter.
It's been me and her pretty much her whole life, and she's about to be 5. So, she would get excited when I told her that, he was coming over for the night or something. She would be happy. Once he started being here all the time, being here on the weekends and stuff, she became very fond.
And she'd cry when I left.
Pretty soon, Rick didn't have to leave anymore.
In July, his lease was up, so he just moved here.
They celebrated 1 year together on February 21st, looking back somewhat surprised on what some would call their COVID love story.
As far as online dating, I've never had anything go this far.
I just never thought that meeting online would personally work for me.
What's the plan for the future?
One day at a time. I'm not into rushing into anything. He already knows that. And to me, you don't have to have all that to be serious or, have a title or something.
Still, Rick, who may have been looking for love at the start of the pandemic, now plans to come out the other side with a family.
I told her that I intended on making her mine. I didn't have any plan beyond that.